Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video lecture, we will study elements of optical network, then optical network topologies. In that, we will study bus topology, ring topology, star topology, mesh topology. Then after that, we will study SDH and SONET, SDH frame, advantages of SDH and SONET rings. So let us start with first point, elements of optical network. An optical network is basically a communication network used for the exchange of information through an optical fiber cable between one end to another. It is one of the quickest network which is used for data communication. As we already know that data signal through an optical fiber is transmitted in the form of light pulses. So optical networks are used in order to have optical signal transmission. Now this question arises that what is the need for the optical network when we have other communicating networks? So the answer to this question basically relies on the ease of transmitting the signal in the form of light pulses. Today's internet era is based on fiber cable and only the optical signals can be transmitted through these cables. Thus the need for optical network emerges. As we know that transmission through fiber optic cable is an easier task due to the low production cost of the cable. Along with that, a fiber cable permits large data carrying capacity and longer distance transmission than other cables. Thus, we use fiber cables and hence the optical network is an important aspect of the communication system. So there are different elements of optical network which composed of the following elements. The first is stations. Stations is an optical network serve as the source and destination of the information being transmitted and received. The stations are basically those devices that are used by the users of the network, for example, a computer or any other telecommunication device. Okay. Second element in optical network is trunk. A trunk is basically a transmission line, that is optical fiber cable, in order to transmit the optical signal. A network is composed of one or multiple trunks for signal transmission over large distance. Third element is node. Node is nothing but acts as a hub for multiple transmission lines inside the network. In case of single transmission line, an optical network does not require nodes. As in this case, stations at both the ends can be directly connected to the fiber cables. Okay. Next is the topology. When multiple fiber cables are employed in an optical network, then these are connected through nodes. But the way in which the multiple nodes are connected together denotes the topology of the network. So, and the last element of the optical network is router. A router is basically placed inside an optical network that provides a suitable path for signal transmission. Okay friends, so as we have already discussed in this part that topology is the arrangement of multiple optical fiber transmission lines in an optical network. So let us know move forward to understand the various topologies configuration. So the topology is divided into four types. The first is bus topology, second ring topology, third star topology, and last mesh topology. Let us see first bus topology. Here in this figure we can see the bus topology. In a bus topology, the various nodes are connected through a single trunk line with the help of optical couplers. Here we are using the optical couplers. This allows a convenient as well as cost-effective method to transmit the signal. However, in a bus topology, it is difficult to determine the faulted node as well as it also takes time to restore the transmitted signal from the particular node. So in bus topology we can see This is our first device which is connected to the second, then second is connected to this third, and third is connected to fourth. Likewise, we can connect n number of devices in bus form. Okay. Next is a ring topology. In a ring topology, one single node is joined to its neighboring node, thereby forming a closed path. So the transmitted information in the form of light is sent from one node to another. Also, optical couplers are installed within the network in order to decouple the transmitted optical signal from one node to another. Here in this figure, we can see in a ring topology, one node is connected to the second device in the ring form. Okay. Third is star topology. In star connection, the various nodes of the networks are connected together with a single central hub. This central hub can be active or passive network. This central hub then controls and directs the transmitted optical signal inside the optical network. So in this star topology, one central hub is present and all these devices are connected to this central hub. Last is mesh topology. In a mesh topology, an arbitrary connection is formed between the nodes in the network. This point-to-point connection can be changed according to the application. This shows the flexible nature of star topology, as in case of failure of one node, others can be used for signal transmission. तो जैसे हम जो हमारा लास्ट टोपोलॉजी था स्टार टोपोलॉजी में हम देख सकते हैं हियर वन सेंट्रल हब इज प्रेजेंट. जो भी आपका डेटा ट्रांसफ़र होगा ये थ्रू सेंट्रल हब होगा ये आपका इन स्टार टोपोलॉजी. लेकिन जो हमारा मेश टोपोलॉजी होगा यहाँ पे अगर कोई फॉल्ट होता है ये डिवाइस में तो भी जो हमारा डिवाइस है इंफॉर्मेशन सेंड कर सकता है थ्रू अनदर पाथ बिकॉज द हियर इन मेश टोपोलॉजी द सिंगल डिवाइस हैव अ मल्टीपल पाथ. ठीक है. अगर से यहाँ पे कुछ फॉल्ट होता है तो ये जो हमारा डेटा ट्रांसफ़र होगा वो ये डायरेक्शन से नहीं तो ये डायरेक्शन के साथ ट्रांसफ़र हो सकता है. ओके. और जैसा कि ये जो हमने रिंग टोपोलॉजी और बस टोपोलॉजी में देखा था उसमें जो भी आपका ट्रांसमिशन पाथ होता है वो एक ही होता है, यूनिडायरेक्शनल होता है. यहाँ पे जो भी आपका डेटा ट्रांसफ़र होगा तो सिंगल डायरेक्शन में होगा. मतलब ये जो डिवाइस है यहाँ पे डेटा ट्रांसफ़र करेगा उसके बाद ये वाला यहाँ पे ट्रांसफ़र करेगा. अगर ये डिवाइस आपका ख़राब हो जाता है यहाँ पे फॉल्ट आता है तो आपका यहीं पे पूरा प्रोसीजर स्टक हो जाता है जिसकी वजह से आपका डेटा पूरा ट्रांसफ़र नहीं हो सकता. ठीक है. बट इन केस ऑफ मेश टोपोलॉजी वी कैन ट्रांसफ़र द डेटा in multiple directions. Okay, so in topologies we have covered first bus topology, then ring topology, third star topology, and last mesh topology. Okay, then after that there are certain categories of optical network. The categories of optical network are based on the area that connects the user of the network. These are classified as LAN, that is local area network. Basically, a LAN connection provides the interconnection of users that are present in localized areas like a building, a department, or an office, etc. The example of networking topology of LAN is Ethernet. As in LAN, users are permitted to share the resources together like servers, etc. And these are personally owned by an organization. It is quite expensive. Second is the campus network. This network category is formed by the interconnection of multiple LANs. This is basically extended to a large level but is still confined within a localized area. It is also governed by a single organization. The examples of campus networks are university campus, or we can say a government organization or a medical center, etc. Then next is the metropolitan area network, that is MAN. It is also known as metro network and covers a greater area than a campus network. It permits the interconnection of several buildings that are present in different cities. Due to its large operating area, MAN is controlled by several communication organizations. The third is wide area network, that is WAN. Unlike MAN, a WAN provides interconnection of users from neighboring cities as well as cross-country regions. It is employed to establish communication over a large geographical distance, and it is controlled and maintained by some private organizations or the telecommunication service providers. Okay, so these are the categories of optical network. In first we have seen LAN, then MAN and WAN. Okay, so using an optical networking system, it is highly advantageous. Then the advantages are as follows. The first advantage of optical network is an optical transmission system supports high bandwidth. Second, the transmitted signal can be transmitted to longer distances using optical network. And the third, this networking system is more flexible than the other transmission systems. So we can say an optical network provides better signal transmission capability to longer distance. Thus, it is widely used nowadays. Next is SONET and SDH. SONET stands for Synchronous Optical Network and SDH stands for Synchronous Digital Hierarchy. Basically, a SONET is a physical layer network technology designed to carry large volumes of traffic over relatively long distances on fiber optic cabling. The United States, ANSI, and Europe, that is ITU-T, have responded by defining standards that, though independent, are fundamentally similar and ultimately compatible. The ANSI standard is called the Synchronous Optical Network and the ITU-T standard is called the Synchronous Digital Hierarchy. In a synchronous digital hierarchy, it is an international standard for high-speed telecommunication over optical electrical networks, which can transport digital signals in variable capacities. It is a synchronous system which intends to provide a more flexible and simple network infrastructure. SDH emerged from standard bodies somewhere around in 1990. These two standards created a revolution in the communication networks based on optical fibers in their cost and performance. The development of digital transmission system started in the early 70s and was based on the pulse code modulation method. Later digital systems become more and more complex, yet there was a huge demand for some features that were not supported by the existing systems. The demand was mainly to high order multiplexing through a hierarchy of increasing bit rates up to 140 megabit per second, or we can say 565 megabit per second in Europe. The problem was the high cost of bandwidth and digital devices. The solution that was created then was a multiplexing technique, which allowed for the combining of slightly non-synchronous rates, which lead to the term digital hierarchy. Next is SDH frame. The basic structure of SDH frame consists of section and line overhead, path overhead, and synchronous payload envelope. The first section overhead is used to connect adjacent piece of equipment. Then line overhead is used to connect two SONET devices, and the POH, that is path overhead, gives information about performance monitoring of end equipment, status signal labeling, a tracing function. POH are always in any one of the 270 columns of this SPE, and the transport overlaid bytes are utilized for functions such as framing, scrambling, error monitoring, synchronization, and multiplexing. Here, one path overhead is used, which is used to provide end-to-end communication between systems carrying digital voice, video, and other signals which are to be multiplexed onto the STS signal, STS1. Then SP is not necessary to be in one frame. It may commence in one frame and end in other. So the SDH having many advantages, like it is the first world standard in a digital format. Second, it's have a powerful management capability. It is easy and cost efficient traffic add and drop and cross connect capability. It is highly flexible and survivable. Self-healing rings are available in SDH, and it uses fiber optical interfaces. Okay, so these are the advantages of SDH. Synchronous optical network, that is SONET, and synchronous digital hierarchy SDH are standardized multiplexing protocols that transfer multiple digital bit streams over optical fiber using lasers or light emitting diodes. Lower data rates can be transferred via an electrical interface. Both SDH and SONET are widely used today. SONET in the United States and Canada, and SDH in the rest of the world. Although the SONET standards were developed before SDH, it is considered a variation of SDH because of SDH's greater worldwide market penetration. So the SONET commonly transmits data at a speed between 155 megabits per second and 2.5 gigabits per second. To build these high bandwidth data streams, SONET multiplexers together channels having bandwidth as low as 64 kilobits per second into data frames sent at fixed intervals. Compared to Ethernet cabling that spans a distance up to 100 meters, SONET fiber are typically runs much further. Even short reach links span up to 2 kilometers. Intermediate and long reach links cover dozens of kilometers. The SONET is a physical layer network technology which is designed to carry large volumes of traffic over relatively long distances on fiber optic cabling. So in this table we can see the transmission rate of SONET and SDH. At the base signaling level called STS1, SONET supports 51.84 megabit per second. The next level of SONET signaling, STS3, supports triple the bandwidth or 155.52 Mbps. Higher levels of SONET signaling increases the bandwidth in a successive multiple of 4 up to approximately 45 gigabit per second. The speed and cost of the SONET make the technology competitive with alternatives like ATM and Gigabit Ethernet. So in this table we can see the SONET and SDH having different transmission rate, and they can transmit the data with different OC1, OC3 layer up to OC3072 layers are present for SONET, and for SDH the levels are from STM0 to STM1024. Okay, so here the STM is a synchronous transport module, and the OC is nothing but the optical carrier level. The next is SONET and SDH rings. SONET and SDH rings are normally configured as a ring architecture. These rings are called as self-healing rings because traffic flow along certain path can automatically be switched to alternate path if the failure or degradation is observed in the link segment. These rings are formed by either 2 or 4 fibers used between the two nodes of fiber. Second, here the signal can travel either clockwise, that is only in one direction, or in both direction. If it is travel in only one direction, then it is called as unidirectional ring, and if it is travel in both direction, then it is called as bidirectional ring. The switching can be done either by line switching or a path switching. When a failure arises, then there are two types of rings. First is unidirectional path switching rings, that is UPSR, and bidirectional line switching rings, that is BLSR. Normally, one piece of fiber called the working ring handles all data traffic, but a second piece of fiber called the protection ring remains on standby should the working ring fail. So SONET includes the capability to automatically detect the failure and transfer control to the protection ring in a very short period of time, in a fraction of second. For this reason, the SONET can be described as a self-healing network technology. Okay, so because SONET can carry a very large amount of traffic, it would seem on the surface to be an ideal technology for future voice and data broadband networks. The SONET competes with several other viable technologies including ATM and gigabit Ethernet. And SDH, that is synchronous digital hierarchy, is an international standard for high speed telecommunications over optical or electrical networks, which can transport digital signals in. SONET can carry nearly any higher level protocol, and SONET includes built in support for ease of management and maintenance. So there are so many applications of SONET. As it was originally designed for the public telephone network, fiber optic cabling already prevailed for long distance voice traffic transmissions, but the existing networks proved unnecessarily expensive to build and difficult to extend for long haul data and or video traffic. The American National Standard Institute, that is ANSI, successfully devised SONET as the new standard for these applications. Like Ethernet, SONET provides a layer first or interface layer technology. As such, SONET acts as a carrier of multiple higher level application protocols. For example, Internet Protocol packets can be configured to flow over SONET. So this is all about SONET and SDH. I hope guys you will like our today's session. We stop here with the motivational quote, and today's motivational quote for you is: we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. So thank you for watching my videos.